News, South Africa's commuter rail services have all but ground to a halt. Widespread cable theft and vandalism have prevented Metrorail services from operating across most of its network. Cables, signalling wires and masts have been stolen. Thousands of security personnel have been deployed to protect the stations, but it seems it's not working, and of course this all leads to very frustrated commuters. eNCA senior reporter Dasen Thathiah is tracking that story, and he joins us now. Dasen, good day to you. Tell us exactly where you are, and let's talk a little bit about the commuters, because at the end of the day, rail transport is a cheap form of getting to and from work, so not having access to a train is a real problem for people who would like that option.
That's right, Sal. Tracking the story indeed, hey. And I think that says a lot, that I'm standing on a railway line right now at this time. This would have normally been an operational line. Those commuters that you're talking about would have been traveling back from work using this facility. You know, earlier in the day we were in the KwaMashu area, and that's where the rail service has also ground to a halt. The KwaMashu station is not operational. In fact, that relates a lot to the vandalism that you spoke about. So there was a community protest last year sometime where a neighboring community to one of those train lines had then set fire to a station along that route. And that has basically meant that that operation is not working at all, and it can only resume its operations when there is a successful negotiation between PRASA and that community to ensure that there is some stability. So this all stems from the fact that there were some informal houses that were close to the track that had caught fire during an incident there, and that community had then blamed those working at the railway line. So that's a problem there. And here we are now in Yellowwood Park, yet another portion of the rail network that is also not functional. But here it's because of cable theft.
I mean, it's astonishing. You know, normally if I saw someone standing on a train track, I'd say, get out of the way, you are in danger. But as you say, you're making the point that there's no chance of that because it's simply not operating. You have been speaking to people in the area, and I understand that you have a guest as well. Dasen, just tell us a little more.
That's right, Sal. So, as I said, cable theft is a big problem here. Now, we do know that there are security teams from PRASA. The SAPS is also working on this issue, but let's be realistic. It is impossible to police every meter or every kilometer of this line. If you look at the entire length of the railway network, that is just purely impossible. So, those that are working on these cases and keeping these lines safe certainly need eyes and ears beyond those that are on their teams. And that's where people like those in the Yellowwood Park community come into the picture. So the community here has been instrumental in ensuring that the criminals that are involved in this activity are caught. Jacques Stevens is one of them. He's a community member here. Just last week, Saturday, Jacques, you were saying that makes it number 80. If you count the suspects that have been apprehended in trying to steal cable here. Tell me what happened when you caught one of those guys here at this spot.
Well, we found a gentleman busy digging away here. You can all see all the sand as he was digging away here, trying to get to copper cables. He cut some copper cables, and in the process of starting to strip the cables, we actually managed to apprehend him, which made it suspect number 80.
And if I recall correctly, you said that's about 14 million rand worth of cable that was recovered over the past year. It obviously makes it a very lucrative business. Where's this cable going to? Any idea?
No, that's correct. It's estimated at this stage at about 14 million rand just for this section that we've recovered cables with the rest of the suspects. Where it's going to, I know there's been some scrapyards that's actually been arrested, where the owners have been arrested. There is talk of the cable actually being shipped overseas. That side of things, unfortunately, us as a community, we don't get involved in that. That's why you have the high authorities that investigate that.
Thank you so much for your time, Jacques. And Sal, what you're looking at now is just some of the damage that is left behind here. I mean, it's everything from the transformers to the cables to just any sign of anything that would be of value has been taken. But I just want to talk to you quickly before I go, Sal, about exactly how it's done. So down here to the left of me, you'll actually still see some of that cable that's left. There's a trench that runs along between the tracks, and this is normally broken. The criminals dig this up. They use the same concrete blocks to pile them up to reach the overhanging cables, and that's how they steal. So what you're looking at now is just the last bit of copper that's left in this trench. That is what they're coming here for.
Just how completely broken the system is, and thank you very much for chatting to us. That was eNCA senior reporter Dasen Thathiah coming to us live from Durban.